My name is Gene Scarpato. I'm your mayor of the Village of Lynbrook. And we're here as it's snowing outside to talk about pool, summer pool. I know we've been discussing this with you many times, and we also had a survey out there recently, but we didn't do it very well. We got very good returns, very good response. 90% of the 650 people that returned the survey said, yes, we want a pool. But we need to know that there are more people than that, and possibly double that are interested before my village trustees want to take this opportunity to present this to the Village of Lynbrook. We think a community pool is the way to go, and wherever I go, I have positive answers. With me today I have what I consider my pool committee, and I'm going to introduce you now to these gentlemen who have been working on this project now for probably 6 months and done research and gone to various areas to see what other pools are like and what they do and what it costs to operate them. And they're very highly experienced in this area. And my financial guy is trustee Tom Michaud. Tom Michaud is going to go over the numbers, the cost of building this thing, the amount that we would have to charge people who become members, and the cost of operation. So Tom Michaud has been invaluable as an accountant. He has these numbers at his fingertips, and he's going to present them to you after that. Next to Tom is Dick Flynn, who is a recreation director, and it'd be his responsibility to run this operation when it's up. He has a number of other activities. We just added the hockey program, and now this is going to be another vast program that he's going to operate, and he has certain ideas on how that has to be done. The people he has to hire to run it, the lifeguards and the attendants, and the keeping track of the membership. And next to me is Philip Healy, Department of Public Works Superintendent, who has invaluable knowledge in pool operations since in Massapequa. He is involved with directing the pool process over there. Has a lot of experience in construction, a lot of experience in the knowledge and the backgrounds of other pools in the area, such as Floral Park and Glen Cove, and he's arranged many of those visits that we took. So with that, what I'll do is show you a little conceptual design that was put together. We've had 3 engineers who, when we put out requests for qualifications, 3 engineers came forward, engineering firms, and presented their proposal. We've heard them now about 3 times, and we have not officially selected any of them, but we have a conceptual design of what we feel is pretty close or somewhat close to what we think Lynbrook community would like. So I'm just going to show you that before I turn this program over to Tom to explain the numbers, the costs, the responsibilities of having a community pool at no tax cost to the residents. So if you could just focus behind me, you'll see a conceptual design. And just to orient you all, over here in this area here is where the natural entrance from Merrick Road is. You would come in here and circle around, and you'd be a drop-off area at the entrance of the pool area. If you drop off whoever you want to drop off, you can take one of these spots, which we increased over to what we have already a little bit. And then you can drive out, and along the fence of the ball field there's a number of other spots, if you know, until you can keep going out into the firehouse area where there are other parking areas. And when we run out of room there, we intend through Mr. Phil Healy's department intends to blacktop the Wilcox Alley. You go down Horton Avenue to where the hockey rink is, and you go in along the railroad embankment over there. We will be blacktopping that whole area, or most of it, and if we need it, we can probably get up to 300 cars over there. And from there, people could walk across the ball field to get into this area. So parking was probably the most serious consideration we had. And we certainly didn't want cars coming in off Wright Avenue, which is over here. Wright Avenue would be where the homes and people live. It wouldn't be fair to bring anyone through that way, so there'll be no traffic, added traffic coming in here to go into this pool project. And all parking will be to the west of the pool project. Once you come in here, there'll be the administration and it'll be I'm going to say the pool house. Pool house, which will house showers and locker rooms for the men and for the women, as well as a first aid room, as well as a lifeguard room, storage room, and whatever else we think we need will be here. And there'll be like a turnstile type of here, where members who are members would either present their card or identification and be allowed to come in. And as you get in, over on the left over here will be what the little kiddie wading pool, which is from zero entry, but you walk in and it gets it up to about 18 inches in the center. And it's an area where mom or dad can sit and watch them, and at the same time keep an eye on this double slide apparatus over, which comes down into a splash pool area. And these slides are very popular with our young people as well as some of our older people. And so Tom says he's going to try it out before I go on it to make sure it's safe. But that is an exciting apparatus for all the pools that are very successful. And then over here we'd have the main pool. The main pool, as it's designed here, is about 60 foot wide by 25 yards, which is a half of an full Olympic-sized pool, and you could have competitive races in here with official distances. So we need that to be 25 yards, but this can be widened. We're looking into widening that to at least another 90 maybe or 75 foot to make this pool larger. This pool is the main pool. It will be heated, and so that during the summer it'll be an even temperature all the way around, as well as we can start the probably open up. We're tentatively looking to open up May 15th. It's prior to Memorial Day, and maybe we can extend 2 more weeks into September because we have a heated pool. This is the existing nursery building over here, and at present the entrance is here. We're going to block off that entrance and turn the entrance to the back, to the south side of the building. And we have to relocate the basketball courts, and they will probably, of course, this area is the present area of the 3 basketball courts that we have. And Mr. Flynn will tell you we need those courts, and we don't need 3, but we hope to put 2 of them in this area, which will not interfere in any way with the baseball diamond that's down below here. All the baseball diamonds will remain as they are and will not be affected. So this area is really, this whole area, encompasses the basketball courts that are existing. This area, is a splash area that we have. Had it up this past summer. It was very successful. That will remain where it is, and that will not be part of the pool complex, because this pool complex will be completely enclosed and fenced in. And this will be used by any one of our residents who wish to use it for the kids, and I've seen some grandparents go in there too. And I think we're going to landscape and make this thing look. We're going to have a lot of deck area. We want to make it more than just a pool. We want to make it a community place to go. And on maybe Friday nights or certain nights of the week, we will have entertainment, bring little bands in, a little entertainment in the pool area or in the park. And of course, the picnic area, for the most part, will remain as it is. And you could go in and utilize this area, come out, and you can go in and out because you belong and you can identify yourself. And we'll have a pretty good sized concession area over here to this side of the building, where mom and dad, or mom could come down early in the day, spend the day with the kids, and dad could get off the train and come over, go to the locker room, take a shower, dress up, put his bathing suit on, and join the family. And we'll try to keep it open till maybe 9 or 10 o'clock. I think Mr. Flynn will get into that. And so it's a place where the community can meet, gather, and our young families as well as our senior citizens can enjoy the summers. And if we have summers like we had this last one, we can tell you that it's going to be a wonderful thing. But with that, I think, and this could be referred to by any one of the gentlemen here when they talk, I'm going to turn the next part of this program to Trustee Tom Michaud, who will explain how it works financially. And that's the important factor, because we're not going after any tax money. We want to make this be self-sustaining, and we feel it can be done. Tommy?
Great. Thank you, Mayor. When we first began looking at this, we had to, the most important question was, can this pool make it financially on its own without tying into tax dollars? And to that end, Phil, Dick, the mayor, and I went to a number of locations, Floral Park, Garden City, Mineola, Williston Park, met with the people that operate those pools, and went over all of their financial numbers. We then met with a number of engineers, as the mayor said, to get an idea of what it would cost to construct the pool. Having taken all of that information, we developed a financial model, much of which is to my over my shoulder on these charts. And I'd like to, if I can, reference the first chart. I don't know if you can focus in on that, which is talks about all of the expenses of the pool. The first thing that the pool has to do is the pool has to accomplish 3 goals. The first goal is that the pool has to pay all of its debt costs. That is, all of the costs associated with the construction of the pool. Our best estimate as of right now, having talked to the engineers as late as Monday of this week, is that the pool will cost approximately $2 million to build. That $2 million is like a mortgage, will be written off over a 20-year period of time. And we have followed the state-approved model of amortizing that debt over 20 years. The second thing the pool had to do was to be able to maintain all of its operating expenses. In effect, pay as it goes. We've met with a number of other pools, and having taken their budgets, we analyzed it and decided what our operating budget should be year by year. And for the first year, it's our best estimate that it will cost approximately $200,000 to operate the pool. The third thing the pool had to do was to provide a yearly surplus. That is, in effect, a profit. The reason we need to do that is we want to build up a fund in the pool account so that in the event, as the years go by and the pool requires additional maintenance and possibly repair, that the pool can pay all of its own repairs and not have to go back to the village main tax coffers and ask for more money. So in effect, the whole idea is that the pool stand on its own. If I can focus in on the first item, which is the debt, as I said, it takes $2 million to build this pool, and under state law, we will amortize the bond over 20 years. So we've established a debt schedule that goes from year 1 out to year 20. We're only showing the first 10 years on this schedule here behind me. We've factored in an interest rate that exceeds the interest rate that we currently pay now. The village's credit is very good, and earlier in the month of February of last year, we went out and got a very, very attractive rate for our current debt. So financially, we're doing well, but for the purpose of this display, we have used a higher interest rate than we normally expect. So we've amortized and developed all of the debt service carry costs that will be incurred over the years. As I said, our first year estimate is that it will cost $200,000 to run the pool. Over the years, we've anticipated a rate of inflation of 5% to run the pool, which exceeds the current rate of inflation that exists now. So we've increased our operating expenses each year for the 20-year period that it'll take to pay off the bond. That comes up with a total expense number, which is displayed on the chart, which will be increasing year after year as the pool ages. Offsetting that is the revenue that we will be getting from memberships, daily rates, guest fees, concessions, and lessen revenues. And we'll talk about that in a few moments. It's our projection that over the course of the years, the pool will run a surplus, which will be added to the pool's account in order to build up a working capital fund, and those dollars will be used to offset any increased maintenance expenses that come down the road, so that the pool really will be truly a standalone operation. We've analyzed this out for 20 years, and based on the revenues that we expect to get and the expenses that we've projected for those 20 years, there will be a substantial amount accumulated in the surplus account so that we can meet any anticipated expenses the pool will incur. What I'd like to do now is flip to the second chart and talk a little bit about the revenue side of the equation. What we've done is we've shown on this chart the first 3 years of revenue projections. And I'd like to take a moment to talk about how this pool is really membership driven. What we've done is we've established 5 membership categories, which is very similar to the other pools that we've visited. We have the family category, the couple category, which would also include couples that might have children under the age of 4, since we won't be charging for children under the age of 4. We have the senior citizen couple category. We have the individual category and the individual senior citizen category. 5 individual membership classifications. Now, in our first year, we're anticipating that there will be 700 families that will sign up to become members of this pool. We're also anticipating 150 couples, 150 senior couples, 150 individuals that are not senior citizens, and 150 senior citizens. These are very conservative numbers in our estimation, because when you compare our membership to other villages, for example, the village of Floral Park, which is approximately 80% the size of Lynbrook, has over 1,200 families in their program, and similar numbers for the other categories that we show. The village of Williston Park, which operates a pool, which combines with the village of East Williston to have a pool district, is approximately half the size of the village of Lynbrook, and they have almost 1,100 families in their program, and similar numbers for each of these other categories. So we felt that the 700 family number and the 150 number for each of the other categories was a very, very fair number. Then we move on to the second piece of the puzzle, which is the rates. We've developed these rate structures based, again, on our review of Garden City, Williston Park, Floral Park, Mineola, and other municipal pools that are out there. For the family, the rate would be $270 for the season. For a couple, we're talking $170 for the season. A senior citizen couple is $150 for the season. An individual is $95, and a senior citizen is $85. And to the right of that, you'll see the revenue projection, which takes your number of families multiplied by the rate and projecting out a revenue stream. In addition to that, for people that don't necessarily become members of the pool the first year, that are village residents, we have developed a day rate. In other words, a resident can come in just for that day. We're hoping that once you come in for the day, you'll love the pool so much that you'll apply your day membership and become a full-time member. And for the projected right now, we have 2,000 individuals coming, adults coming for the first season, and 2,000 children, which we felt was a very conservative number based on these other pools. Right now, we're using a daily rate figure of $7.50 for adults and $5 for children. In addition to that, there is a guest fee. Any member of the pool that obviously has to be a village resident that wants to bring a guest from out of town can do so. Guests must be accompanied by a resident. They can't come on their own. And we are anticipating 2,000 adults and 2,000 children, which, based on other pools, is extremely conservative. And we're charging the same rate, $7.50 and $5. Again, those rates are not locked in yet, but Those are projected as of this point, and there's an extension on that. We also plan to have concession revenues, which will be of two type. One will be the concessionaire that will lease out the food court and use that as a base of operation for both the pool members and possibly the entire park on a double window type situation. And we're anticipating that the village will receive $10,000 of revenue from that concessionaire. And in addition, we plan to sell what are called dry goods, T-shirts, hats, and associated items. And in addition, and Mr. Flynn will get into this in a moment, we also plan to have an extensive lesson program, and we've anticipated $10,000 of revenue from that. That brings us to our first year projected revenue of $334,000, which we're anticipating a surplus of $44,000 in the first year alone. In the second year, we're anticipating modest increases in the membership. For example, the family membership would go from 700 families to 750 families. We're not projecting any increase in rates in the second year. In the third year, we're projecting additional increases in rate in the membership from 750 families to 800 families, and we're anticipating a modest 5% increase in the rate structure. However, if our target memberships exceed the amounts that we have here, and we certainly believe that will happen, the rate increase might not be necessary at all, and we hope to keep rates locked in as much as we can. The whole goal of the program is very, very simple. The pool will become a standalone entity, be able to pay its own way, and based on this financial projection, that is entirely possible if we hit these rates. That's why it's so important that the residents get their survey, and if they like the whole concept, they fill it out, vote yes, and send it back in so that we know that there is enough support out there to support the membership classifications that we've established. And we anticipate this to go on for all of the entire life of the debt of the pool. And with that, Mayor, I'd like to turn it back to you.
Okay, it looks like, we're running low on time, but I think maybe we can get some extension. Is that possible? Because I wanted Mr. Flynn now to talk about the operation and what he thinks it's needed to run this complex, and it's a tremendous job. He's going to be laid on his back, but he's capable. Dick, you want to explain what you feel about this operation and what it will mean to Lynbrook?
Well, first of all, as Recreation Director of the village, my concern is that we provide a facility that is going to appeal to all of our people, not just our children, not just our seniors, but everybody. And with that in mind, with this design, you can do things like that. And not only will be an appeal for the activity in there, but it could generate the revenue, which is going to carry this program. For instance, during the off hours, we can offer lessons for the children, or even adult programs for learning how to swim. At the present time, we have to bus our children down to the Long Beach pool down in the city of Long Beach, and it's an expensive program. It's time-consuming, and it's really not our own people running the program. With our own pool staff, lifeguards, and pool directors, we can teach a regular certified Red Cross swim program. You can also use your pool for competitive swimming. There's local teams. There's a Nassau County Swim Conference that swims during the summer. We can enter a team into a program like that. You can rent the pool out for parties and stuff like that, birthday parties for the little ones. We can use it at nighttime, and I really believe that this pool should be open till at least 9:30 at night for the working people to have a chance to use it after work. And we can provide a summer concert program. We can put it over near that pool area. You can set up pool volleyball. There's so many different things you can do with the facility. But the bottom line is that we don't want to interfere with any of our existing programs that are going on right now. And like we said earlier, the mayor said the nursery program, the preschool program we have, it's a very successful program, and we don't want the pool to interfere with it. So we're talking about turning the entrance to the back side of the building and not causing a distraction to the little ones. We have a very extensive picnic program that goes on all summer, and we don't want to interfere with that. And by the design that we have here, we shouldn't have too much impact on that. As a matter of fact, we might even enhance the picnic program by letting them know that they have a pool that they can use while they're at a picnic. And my biggest concern, and the mayor did address it, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that we don't want to interfere with the traffic on Wright Avenue because we have our residents that live over there. So all of the entering to the pool will come off of Wilbur Street, the main entrance of the park, and also off of Horton Avenue. And it'll be a drop-off type of situation. There'll be some added parking over there, and for the overflow parking, as the mayor said, we'll go down into Wilcox Alley. The bottom line here is that we want to know from the residents if this is what you want to do. And when the survey goes out, please take the few minutes it takes to fill out the survey and return it. It will be pre-posted. It's important to us. And if you people want us to build a pool, we're ready to do it, and we're ready to do it the right way.
Thank you, Dick. I really appreciate that. Now, we have Department of Public Works, Phil Healy here, who has a lot of experience in pools, and he's going to address what he feels about the parking and everything else.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to touch briefly on how we got to this point on the design concept. Several months ago, we went out for extensive search for qualifications from engineers and designers. We've gone through a number of proposals, studied it, and right now we have a conceptual design, as the mayor pointed out earlier, that has a lot of research in it. Again, it's conceptual design, but it's not something that we're just going into casually. We're looking at top-of-the-line materials, lifespan of the pool, 30 or 40 years minimum, and really trying to develop a real community space, the whole flow of it, looking at it very intensively, and I think we can ultimately, we'll have a very nice area that you'll enjoy, it'll flow, it'll be a wonderful, wonderful addition to the community. Just briefly.
Thank you very much, Phil. And just to close it all out now, I'd just like to say that within 2 weeks you'll be receiving a survey from the village. And this survey will be not like the last one and tucked into our newsletter. This will be a separate piece of mailing where you can tear off. It'll have this information we went over on there briefly, and then there's a tear off for you to mail back with you a few questions. And basically we want to know, do you want it or you don't? And it's in your hands. My village trustees support this program, except that we will not go forward unless we know there's enough people that are interested. And if you sit back and don't send in this survey, we're going to think you don't want it, and you may be losing a wonderful opportunity to add to the value of your home, because community pools add the value to your homes, because people looking to buy a home want to find a village that has a lot of facilities for its family, and this being one of the major ones that we will be putting here. We need to know from you. So I plead with you, if you want this, it's up to you. It'll be in your hands within a couple of weeks. Return the survey, hopefully positive. I thank you very much for the opportunity and to come before you in your living rooms. Hopefully you'll respond to our plea of attention to this subject. And I thank my fellow committee members here for their input in as many, many hours and days and weeks that have been put in to give you what we've shown you today. So thank you, and look for the pool survey.